Today I'm talking about reselling things I buy at garage sales and thrift stores. I've had a few comments from people that say things to the effect of, well, you're stealing from poor people. Poor people need those things and all you're doing is taking advantage by going to the thrift store and buying it before they can get there, and then you're reselling it and making money. Okay. Makes absolutely no sense to me, but if that's what you think, all right. But let me tell you, first of all, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I have bought and resold, and then I'm going to talk about that. Are these not too cool?
I see one. We'll have to get the other one separately.
Here, my friend Brad at the Restore told me, hey, I got fencing for you. So he sold me all this fencing for 20 bucks. Thank you, Brad. But as I was there, I saw these, and actually this was layered on top of this, so I thought it was all one thing. And I called him, or he called me, and when I asked him about it, and he said, well, yeah, they're for sale. So we were 2 blocks away, turned around, came back, and they're separate, so he sold them to me both for 20 bucks. Aren't those cool?
They are cool.
Oh my goodness.
That's really nice. And
So,
the mirror was awesome.
Brad's my deal of the day. Thank you, Brad. It was actually going to go in my garden, but then I thought, man, that's really nice. I hate to ruin this really nice mirror in my garden. And so I'm hanging them on the fences to try and reflect the trees moving and the deer when they move and scare themselves, hopefully, to keep them out of my garden is the theory. I know it's not going to work, which is why I got my wildlife cam, and I'm starting another new channel with my wildlife. Because I'm like, if you can't beat them, join them. So, but that's why I got it. So, I was going to hang it in the garden. I was like, man, this isn't going to work. So then I was going to put it in the house. Here, it's really cool. It's $10, and I got 10% off. And then this bird picture kind of went with it. And that was $10. And I just had Mike set the mirror in here just so it wouldn't get messed up. I was going to actually put it in my garden, but I really like it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put it here because it's raised on the side. See how it's raised on the side? It's going to cover all this junk. This house has outlets and phone things. Here's another one. All over the place. I mean, well, that one's normal, but I mean, they just have outlets and phone things all over the place. There's another one up there. There's outlets. So take and put this right here. I might need to repaint my bench, but that's okay. And put that right there. And I think this might actually fit right here. So I think I'm going to do that. And didn't work there either. It was so cute, but I just could not find a place in my house. So I turned around on Facebook Marketplace and I resold it. I sold the bird picture for $40 and I sold the mirror for, I think it was 20. I can't remember if it was 20 or 30. So I turned around and resold those. Now, the Restore had that price on there. I mean, I just bought it for what they had. Just because I turn around and resell it doesn't mean I'm stealing from the Restore. The same with the other thrift stores. I found a $45 KitchenAid at one of the church. I found a $45 KitchenAid at one of the church thrift stores that I go to. And within an hour, I had it listed for $175 on Upcycle, and it was sold. Well, the church just wants to get it gone and just wants to get it processed, and they just want to get it going, you know, just get it out of there. Well, if they don't want to take and post it, there's no reason why I can't, you know. So I sold those mirrors and that picture. Then the next thing I got was this video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. The thing I got was these TV trays. So I paid $4 for these TV trays. So my last set of these I paid $4 for also. Forgot about that. And I sold them for $20 on Upcycle, and I had probably 10 people waiting. So I'm gonna sell these. I don't know, I'm gonna try 25 or 30, see if I can get a little bit more. So I ended up getting 20 again for the same TV trays. They were $4 at the thrift store. So I just turned around and put them, because I knew people like TV trays, so I just turned around and put them on Upcycle. Now this next thing I got is the silliest thing ever. I got this at the Restore. It's museum putty. And I can't remember, I think there was 12 or 15 of these in there. Let me see if the box says. It didn't say, but I think there was 12 or 15 in there. And I needed some putty. It's the stuff to keep, you put under things to keep it from falling over. And it's removable, but it's pretty firm on there, so you got to be careful removing it. But I only needed one. But the Restore had an entire box for $8. Well, one of them was $8 on Amazon. So I was like, okay, well, I need this. I don't have to wait for Amazon to get it sent to me, so I'll just buy the whole box. I don't know what I'll do with the rest of it, but I'll buy the whole box. Then I was like, you know what? I'll just put it on Upcycle and see. People were falling over right and left for these dumb things. I wish I would have bought all they had. They had like 10 boxes there. I wish I would have bought them all. I put in for 2 for $5, and I sold them just like that. So I made $25 off of the box that I made $8, plus I got my $8 packet free. Does that make sense? So you could say technically I made $33 on it, because I didn't have to spend the $8 buying it, and I made $25. So that was a good deal right there. Then I did not get this one, but this lamp was $25 at the Restore. And I had thought about buying it because it was so cool, but I was like, okay, Tara, you got to rein yourself in a little bit here. And I should have bought it. But anyway, my other two lamps that I showed you guys, those I paid $5 each for them, and they were $25 or $2,800 at one of the vintage places to resell. $2,800, and they sold. I got these lamps for $5 for the pair of them. Look at that. I am pretty sure they still work. So I was thinking about turning them into a table, but I don't know that I could stabilize. I thought these could be like 2 table legs and have each one be a table leg. I thought, well, that's a good idea. Do they have light bulbs in there? Ooh, they have light bulbs. Oh, hold on. Let's see if they work. They work. Okay, well, there you go. So it does work. Oh, it has a bottom light too. Ooh. Oh my goodness, that's shiny. Okay, let's see. So I was looking this lamp up to get me some ideas on what to do with vintage lamps. Look what I found. $2,800. And they sold. Guys, I think I am in the wrong business. I think I need to go into the vintage stuff business. So I looked this one up. I took a picture and looked it up. And this one was going for about $350. I was like, oh man, I need to go in the reselling business. I ended up not getting it, but I should have. Then this picture I got at Big Lots. I paid $10 like 20 years ago for it. Liked it. And didn't really have a place for it in this house, so I sold it for $40. I just got that at Big Lots. I got this clock. I paid $1 for it at a garage sale, and I turned around and paid $40 for it, I think is how much I sold it for. The thing I got was this Shark vacuum cleaner it's a mop and vac at the Restore. It was absolutely brand new in the box, absolutely brand new. Thought that was great. And I went to go use it, and I was like, I don't know that this is what I want to use. So I packed it back up, paid $10. I think I can't remember if it was $10 or $15 at the Restore. And so then I packed it all back up, threw it on Upcycle, sold it for, I think I sold it for $40 on Upcycle. Can't remember, $40 or $50. So I turned around and made a profit off of that one. I try to always, at least the things that I get to at the thrift stores and garage sales, I try to at least make $10 on top of everything I sell. But if I don't, then I try to get my money back at the bare minimum. So now, another thing that I sell is my plants. So when we moved into this house, it was pretty much nothing but black-eyed Susans for flowers. That's pretty much all they had. Really pretty, but I like more flowers than just black-eyed Susans. I don't really like black-eyed Susans that well anyway. They're okay, but you know, they're not my favorite. I started selling the black-eyed Susans, just letting them go to seed, and then they reproduce even more. But every year for the 5 years that we have lived here, I have made $300 to $400 every single spring. I put them on Upcycle Mother's Day weekend, and I sell $300 to $400 worth of black-eyed Susan starts every single spring. Okay, so this plant here is black-eyed Susans, and I am not exaggerating when I say I have thousands of these plants. They're clear over there, they're all over here, totally filling up this bed. And then I have a huge section, probably twice the size, in the backyard. So I am selling them for $5 a clump. A clump is about half of that right there. That's 2 clumps right there. And last year I made $300, and that's what I used to fill up all my other flower. That's the money I used to fill up all my other flower boxes and baskets and everything. Oh, and there's Mike. Oh, he's blowing me kisses. So I end up, usually I sell them for about a month, and yeah, I make a nice little chunk of change. I call it my garage sale money. Actually, that money I use for all my flowers and my gardening stuff. But anyway, all the other stuff that I resell, I do, all the other stuff that I resell, I use that as my garage sale money. I saw this posting from a reseller. I was like, that is exactly what I want to say. And I'm going to read this comment. It's from Resell Daddy. I have no idea who this man is, so I don't promote him, nothing. I just liked his comment. It says, every time I see someone whining about resellers hurting the community, it cracks me up. Let me be real with you. I don't even step foot in a Goodwill or thrift stores. I source 90% of my stuff from garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and storage units. The same place anyone else could shop if they woke up early and actually showed up. I am at garage sales. If there's something that I see in their ad that I really want, I'm there in line 15 to 30 minutes before they open. I'm standing in line waiting so that I can possibly go get that thing that I want. One time it was a KitchenAid mixer for $25 that I got, and I turned around and sold it for $200. Was that worth a half an hour of my time standing in line? You better believe it was. Every single Tuesday and Saturday, me and 2 other people are the first ones in line at this particular thrift store, church thrift store that I like. Brad at the Restore said that he has people in line every single day waiting to get in to see what new things they have. It's called doing the work. He says, people act like I'm stealing bread from the poor. Nah, the family running a yard sale is happy I gave them $200 cash for the stuff they were about to trash. The estate sale family is relieved I cleared out half the house in one swoop. The storage unit guy doesn't care as long as I've got green in my pocket. Here's the kicker. If I didn't buy half of this stuff, half of this stuff would end up in the dumpster. But because I do buy it, it ends up in the hands of collectors and parents buying affordable toys for their kids, or someone restoring their childhood. I'm not hurting the community. I'm literally recycling it. Prices going up? That's not me. That's the fact that everyone now has a smartphone and can check eBay comps in 5 seconds. Blame technology, not the guy actually putting in the work. At the end of the day, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm connecting dusty basements in Kentucky to collectors in California, Japan, and everywhere else. Without resellers, these connections wouldn't happen. So tell me, are resellers the problem, or are we just a new small business owner nobody wants to admit they actually need? That's it. The stuff that I put on Recycle, people don't want to haul their butt to 4 thrift stores on Tuesday morning and Saturday morning and go look for all this stuff. That's their darn tootin' fault. They don't want to spend every Saturday morning between April and May and October, every Friday and Saturday morning, going to garage sales, getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning so you can get there and be the first one there. It is actual work. Now, I will tell you, as far as reselling, you just learn what people want and what they watch for. So one of the reasons why I'm sitting here is because, see this flower bed and all my flower beds here? So I got these, there was 6 of them, and I got them at a off of Upcycle for $100 for all of them. I brought them home. I knew that was a good deal. They're raised beds. They're in really good shape. I turned around and sold 2 of them because they wouldn't fit on my deck, and I sold 2 of them for $50 each. I could have actually gotten $100 because I sold them literally in 2 minutes. And I had like 10 people lined up within the next 15 minutes while the people were coming over to get them. But I made all my money back on these. So now when I'm done with these and I go to resell them, I know I'm probably going to sell them for $100 each, not $50 each. So I'll just know. But how is that wrong? Now, here's the thing. You have to be careful. You know, you have to take good pictures. So like we give away our dining on a dime boxes every month or 2. I put a post on Upcycle and I give away my dining on a dime boxes from shipping books. Now, you have to be careful when you're reselling because you are going to get just stupid people. You're just going to get stupid people. But I just had to share this because this was totally hilarious. Now, this was my original post and what it looked like. Now, I did not have on my original post, not the USPS tubs, only the boxes. And I had to add that later because this is all the comments that I got. You may want to return those USPS tubs or take a picture without them. And she said that after somebody else had already posted. So I posted it in 2 different places and somebody else had already commented on that. So I added that in there. And then she said this, and I said, as stated in the post, they are not going, we use them. I said, then I had to clarify even more. And I said, I'm a self-published author and ship UPS or USPS every day. Just didn't feel like moving them out of the picture because it was 20 degrees that day. She said, yeah, sure. I was just like, okay, lady, whatever. And then here was the original post. It said the USPS tubs need to be returned to the post office. I said, those aren't being given away. They're being used, just the boxes behind. And then I said, they're returned every day to the post office. I have a shipping business. And then she says, but they're postal property, so they need to be returned to the post office. So I said, I know. I send them back to the post office every day with orders being shipped. I am a self-published author and ship orders every day. That's why all the boxes are one size. And so then people kept commenting and kept commenting. I was just like, oh my goodness, people. So you are going to get stupid things like that. You need to make sure that when you have a picture, it's only of that item. Put as many details as you can in there about the item. Measurements, if it's new, if it's used, take pictures if it's used of any wear, anything like that. You are going to get scammers. I know now that who the scammers are and who aren't. I also check their Facebook profile to see if they have been on Facebook for longer than 6 months. If it's the last 6 months, I don't even deal with them because it's probably a spammer. But if they've been on there 6 months or longer and they're friends with, I live in a small town, so it's no big deal. But if they're friends with other people that I know, then I'm pretty sure that they're legit. And then I look at their Facebook ratings. I have a 5-star Facebook rating for reselling because I'm on time, I'm honest, I tell them everything, and I don't not show up. I don't not have the item ready. I don't undersell after someone. That really irritates me when people do that. They tell me that they have it for sale and I can come get it, and I'm waiting for them to give me the address, and then they're like, oh, it's sold. I'm like, well, don't tell me to come get it if, well, anyway. So, you know, there is a slight amount of irritation, but you just kind of have to go with the flow, do what you can. And for me, it's a easy little side hustle. It's not a ton of money, but it pays for all my garage sale stuff and for my fun stuff in my garden and all that. So I don't need to do it. For me, it's more of just a hobby now. But I'm certainly not stealing from anyone. If these people were that desperate, if these poor people were that hard up, they would have their butt at 7 o'clock in the morning, waiting in line at the thrift store before they, or at the garage sales, I mean, before they go to work on Friday morning. You know, you can do that. You really can. You maybe don't hit all the garage sales, but you could hit 2 or 3 or 4, or hit them on your way to work, leave early for work and leave them on your way to work. I'm just saying, there are ways that you can do this and make money if you want, but don't feel like you're stealing from other people. You're not. You're just working smarter than they are. So work smarter, not harder, guys. You know how that is. All right, livingonadime.com. We will see you guys next time.